We often think that being a minimalist, we are not supposed to own stuff, and that being said, we are not even supposed to buy new things. But in fact, that's not the case. I still like the feeling of buying new things, and I do still buy stuff. But being a minimalist, it meant that I'll do it deliberately. I've spent the whole month of June decluttering my stuff with the 30 days minimalism game, removing up to 465 unwanted clutter out of my life. That's not an easy task. I mean, I failed a challenge once before, and I understand how difficult it is to complete the whole 30 days minimalism game. And knowing that, I wouldn't want to put my effort into waste by getting new stuff into my life just to satisfy that instant gratification of buying new stuff. And that's the reason why we have one of the simplest minimalist rule, that's the one in, one out rule. And this is how it goes. If you want to buy something, you have to get rid of a thing that is in the same category in your life. For example, I bought a new Birkenstock sandals and I have to get rid of my Nike Foamposite sneakers. One shoe in and one shoe out. And I'll be using this example for the rest of my video. It's really a simple rule for anyone to follow through, and it's a good method for you to keep your clutter under your control. However, regardless how great or how beneficial this rule can be, it has its own flaws and loopholes in it. And this video is not about finding loopholes for you to cheat without feeling bad. We have to identify some of the flaws in order for us to fight the temptation to cheat. Even though cheating might not be intentional in our mind, but we will still make this mistake subconsciously. So these are some of the things we should take note of when we are using this one in, one out rule. One in, one out does not make you a minimalist. If having less clutter is your goal or something that you want to achieve, this rule does not encourage you to have less. In fact, you will stay stagnant because plus 1 minus 1, we are back to 0 again. However, the minimalists invented this 1 in, 10 out rule, which can help you with your decluttering. I'll say this is like a 1 in, 1 out rule on steroids. It's a great way for you to minimalize and declutter your life if you are hoarding too much. It fixes our consumerism problem and also helps us with our hoarding issue. But I have to say, this 1 in, 10 out rule is too extreme for me. I mean, I've already decluttered my stuff. Those stuff that are in my life currently are still bringing me value. If I really need the sandals, I can't be removing 10 pairs of shoes out of my life because I don't even have so many. Wrong intention. Another bad thing is, if we don't have the right intention of starting this rule, this 1 in, 1 out rule can be something that encourages our consumerism habit and also create a lot of waste to the planet. For example, buying new clothing to fit in or keep up with trends. When we want something new, we'll just get it because we always know that we can get rid of the stuff we own easily. With the wrong mindset, it allows us to consume more without feeling bad about our spending habits, since it's supported by this minimalism rule. We think that we are making progress, but in fact, we are just lying to ourselves. Third is laziness. Sometimes we keep telling ourselves that we need to do the right thing. For example, remove the stuff that has to be removed. But our human nature just don't allow us to follow the path of most resistance. We procrastinate, we drag a few weeks or even months, and the things that we are supposed to remove are still in our life. And this issue will happen in the 1 in, 1 out rule and makes it only the 1 in rule due to laziness. And how I counter this is by making sure I remove the 1 out before I get 1 in. I shall call it the 1 out, 1 in rule. It makes more sense because it reminds us that we need to get rid first before we bring in new stuff to our life. I told myself I need to get rid of the sneakers first before I get the sandals. Even though I know that the sandals can bring me a lot of value in my life, I've decided to wait because wanting that sandals act as a motivation that pushes me into action to get rid of the sneakers. And having motivation is a good way to fight off laziness. I don't want to throw the sneakers away because they have some monetary value in it. So I make sure I manage to sell them first before I make the purchase of the sandals. In some sense, I'm using the money from the sneakers to buy the sandals. My frugal self is kind of proud of that. I'm actually trading the sneakers for the sandals. One-to-one exchange. There's actually no rule on how you want to execute this rule into your life. Whether you want it to be a one-to-one exchange from the same category is totally up to you. But personally, I feel that it's challenging and makes more sense for you to get rid of the same category. It doesn't work well if you want to buy a bicycle and decided to get rid of your one-sided sock that you found in your wardrobe. It just don't add up. So these are some of the loopholes that came across my mind when I tried to apply this rule into my life. If you identify these issues and know how to counter them, I'll say this rule will work perfectly fine for you if you have already done your decluttering part and want to keep your clutter under control. However, if you want to declutter more stuff from your life, there's a lot of different methods you can try out. For example, the 30 days minimalism game. Quick message, if you'd like to support this channel, you can head down to my Patreon link at the description below, and that will help with the growth of this channel and keep this channel going. That's all I have for you guys. I truly hope that this video can bring you the value when it comes to bringing more stuff into your life. Grateful for your time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.